Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel. Home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name is Ben. Come to you live every single day at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We missed it by 5 seconds. It was close. Today is Tuesday, March 15th. Oh, beware of the Ides of March as Bitcoin. Is Peter Schiff going to stab us in the back on this day, the Ides of March? 75 degrees here in the BitBoy Crypto studio. Guys, things are just really sideways right now. Are they not? Every time I look, I feel like I refresh and the price is the same. So definitely we're seeing a lot of consolidation at this point. Some people have called it the mother of all consolidation. So we'll be taking a look at that. We're going to be taking a look at some stuff that Peter Schiff said that is pretty interesting. By the way, Mark VA71 Euphoric Break here on YouTube says, merch store open yet? I want that shirt. We were just before the show downstairs taking pictures for the merch store. So It's coming. The only question is, will ETH 2.0 beat us?
Well, technically, I believe if you really want it, you can go to bitboycrypto.com. There's a merch section there. I know at least the hoodie, the crypto printed hoodie you wore last week is in there.
Yeah.
It hasn't been overhauled with all these new products yet, but definitely, like you said, very, very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Will not be long now. So, guys, let's go ahead and get started. There's not a lot of gigantic world-shaking news today, and let me tell you why. Tomorrow is the day of the Fed rate, or the Fed hike, where they're going to change the rate. And because of that, it feels like there's been like a vacuum today of like news sucked out while people are waiting for this news tomorrow to come forward, which is already pretty much priced in. We're going to get the 0.25% raise. We're going to look at some of that stuff here in a little bit. But we got some really interesting stories here today. Some stuff from Peter Schiff. We're going to be taking a look at the rate hike coming. We're going to be talking about cancel is spelled wrong on the rundown there. You see that?
Yeah.
Cankle. We have Cankle Proof BTC on the rundown. Nothing, really says money like Cankles. Okay. All right. So let's go and get started. Here we are on YouTube, 1.45 million subscribers. I know a lot of you guys have been really enjoying those nightly videos. We're getting a pretty good formula down now, I think, for, what we're going to be doing going forward. Here on Twitter, we're at 821,000 followers here. Wait, what happened? Why did the Hawks delete that post, I wonder? I don't know. Hawks won last night. Jay Chains and Brian were there at the Hawks game wearing their Oculus. Yeah. So they got on the Jumbotron and they talked to Quavo, who was right in front of them. Mm-hmm. And then how about this? Scott Hall, rest in peace. Can you believe he died last night?
Wow, no, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, if you guys have seen Scott Hall in the last 10 years, maybe like interviews with him, he was a shell of a human towards the end of his life. It's very, very sad, but definitely a big personality in wrestling. Big fan of wrestling here on the channel. Vintage wrestling. We're not a fan of the WWE these days. Don't forget to follow us here on Twitter or on Instagram, 444,000 followers there. Of course, Dad Jokes for the win. A lot of baseball pictures lately. I should have posted the picture that my wife sent me yesterday of one of our dogs blocking Odie Wilbs from getting in the pet door. And his head is like smashed up against the pet door. It's the funniest picture. I'll post that later today. All right, let's go ahead and look at the markets. We've got the markets coming in. Is this the latest number? It doesn't change. It literally doesn't change. $1.735 trillion. Yeah, I got some stuff to say about Freddie Freeman in a second. I got some stuff to say. TJ grew up with his wife, right? Yeah, good friends with his wife growing up.
Is there news or something?
Well, he's not coming back. We don't know where he's going at this point. Let me just go ahead and say this about Freddie Freeman. Here's what I'm going to say. Freddie, we appreciate what you did here in Atlanta. Now, it is not official that he's gone, but We signed Matt Olson from the A's. We traded for him, sent some prospects. He's actually much better stats than Freddie Freeman last year. Some people say he's on track to be the best first baseman in the entire league. So we got a big win there. Some people say he might be going to the Blue Jays, Freddie Freeman. Maybe it's not the Dodgers. Freddie, you blew a big opportunity here. You had an opportunity to win one more championship with Atlanta and become the greatest Brave of all time. But instead, now you're going to go somewhere else. And regardless of what you do for the rest of your career, you will not be the greatest Brave ever. And you're going to be basically a journeyman first baseman with great stats. So you're like an upgraded Mark Teixeira at this point with your decision that you've made. So very sad. I don't know what went into the decision. We will certainly miss you in Atlanta. But, really and truly, it's Freddie Freeman's loss at this point for leaving Atlanta. He had a chance to go down like Chipper Jones, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, some of the greatest Braves of all time. Instead, he'll be a footnote in history. Won one championship, had a lot bigger chance to do something different. So good luck to him on the rest of his career. 24-hour volume, $75 billion. Bitcoin dominance, 42.8%. ETH dominance, 17.8%. The ETH up considerably, double from yesterday. Going to cost you 35 Paraguays to send an ETH transaction today. And I wonder if this Gwei number has to do with the fact that, all of this big news around Bored Apes and CryptoPunks, maybe a lot more volume has came to the NFT market over the last, 48 hours.
Could be. I'm not sure. Yeah, because it was holding pretty consistent down in the 20s and 30s for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty interesting. I don't think that's probably a coincidence. Bitcoin coming in right now, $39,169. Ethereum, $25.77. I mean, I feel like it is a do-over of yesterday's show.
Yeah. I mean, scroll up. Yeah, 1% change on both for the week.
Yeah. Yeah. That tells you everything you need to know. Generally, this means, that we're going to see a big move one way or the other here pretty soon. So, okay. Binance going at 370, XRP at 76 cents. We got some more news on XRP here in a little bit. Terra Luna is still doing pretty well. Hasn't moved in the last 24 hours, but up for the week. And look at Cardano's volatility for the week.
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Call it a stable coin.
The graph up 11%. Pretty good.
Hey.
Elron up 9%. We love Elron for sure. Basic attention token, a consistent underperformer. Yeah. Let's see. eCash up again today. Monero up again today. Thorchain. We're going to talk about Thorchain. What is happening with Thorchain? It's rallied 90% in the last 6 days. Here's why. Man, that was a great one we held on to. We've got this here. Thorchain shows one of the strongest price performances. Its cross-chain protocol allows users to perform swaps on different networks with no third party. The sudden price increase most likely was tied to the release of synthetic assets, which are essentially derivative versions of cryptos like BTC and ETH, so basically wrap versions of those. Those assets already attracted more than 10 million in trading volume on ThorSwap. Now, we talked about these wrapped assets yesterday. We explained what wrapped assets are. On the Luna network and how that applies to every other network out there. So Thorchain has done basically the same thing. Each synthetic asset is backed by liquidity. Let's see. Since the announcement on March 10th, it's faced 90% growth. So I'll be honest with you. We're not into buying and selling quickly. But right now with this up 90%, this would be a great time for you to take profits on Thorchain, I believe.
Yeah.
Because this is basically moving on volume from an announcement of synthetic assets. Don't know how much higher it's going to go here in the short term. You want me to do that super chat now?
No, it's fine. I grabbed it. We can do it at the end. I was just telling him that. And if you guys remember when Thorchain first had a hack, it had a major crash in the price. And we kind of came in on here and said, look, when good projects have this happen, that could be a good opportunity if it's a good long-term project. We bought more after that hack, and that's when we set up the majority of our position. And if you guys did the same thing, you'd be in pretty good shape right now.
Chocolate Pickles says professional athletes have a small window of time to play, so going for the last big paycheck is understandable. From what I hear, Braves were willing to match anything. I think this is personal between him and the Braves, honestly. I don't think he liked that it took them a long time to get his contract. But this is what I'll tell you. If he signs with the Dodgers or with the Blue Jays or with the Yankees, there's no way the offset between the contracts would not be negated by the difference in tax from those states compared to Georgia. So just saying. Okay. All right. Moving on here. Let's bring Frank on. Frank, come on up. Let's talk about what's going on with the charts here, bud.
Frankie Candles.
What's up for him? got to do all this for Frank.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bitcoin is boring right now, unfortunately, but not bad, right? I remember last time we were talking about, Bitcoin taking a nap and wanting to wake it up. It woke up and dumped. So I was regretting saying that right after it dumped. I was like, you know what? Next time it's napping, I'm just going to let it nap. So I'm not going to talk any trash about Bitcoin sleeping right now. But we do have some things that have changed on the charts that I will be bringing up. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Literally going to spend 30, not even like 10 seconds here on the weekly. This is kind of just why if I had to lean a certain way right now, I would lean a little bearish just because we're printing that red dot and the money flow is coming into the red on the weekly, right? So that's just, you always want to keep that in the back of your mind, right? Okay, so moving down to the daily, right? This is basically what we got going on here, guys. Let me just minimize this, give us a little more room. So we do have this, symmetrical triangle. Some people are drawing it as an ascending triangle. We had it as an ascending triangle on previous streams. But basically, we're basically moving sideways here. I mean, this is a side. If you go down to the lower time frames, it's actually pretty funny because like the candles are barely moving. They're just going in a straight line. But these are basically the support area right here is at $38,000, right? This is the major support that we're looking to hold, right? We are getting a bounce off of it right now, hopefully working our way up to this resistance level at about 41,950, right? We need to get past this to come test the top of this triangle once again if we want to break up into the, out into the upside, right? And then, upside targets, as we talked about, I believe yesterday, does bring us up to about 55K if you take the high and the low and drag it out. Brings us right to about 55K, which is also a golden pocket area. So that, if we do break up to this 55K area, it would be a pretty good place to be looking for a short because we will see most likely some pretty serious resistance at that golden pocket level at about 55K. And then on the downside, it does, if we do wind up breaking down out of this triangle, it will be bringing us the price target right now is about 29K, right? And, that brings us down to where we were here on our summer lows, right? After the May dump. And, if you just look at this, let me just zoom out a little bit. If you look at this, I mean, we've essentially just been in a sideways, let me get my trend line. Yeah, so we've just basically been moving, in this essentially just a channel, right, for quite some time here. So, it's just not the most exciting market right now as I struggle here with the touchpad. But we're just essentially in this channel, right, up, down, up, down. Now we're just stuck here, hoping for that break towards 55K. That's what I'm pulling for. And then if you come down to Market Cipher B, we are currently printing a green dot on Market Cipher B, right? That is a bullish signal. And you have, this is the daily, yep. And then
we're going above 40K today, boys.
Let's go. Hopefully. And money flow, not really, curving up aggressively, but, just in general, right, with Market Cipher and the money flow, you want to see it generally coming up, which it is. So not a bad sign for the daily, right? We did come back down, got rejected off that zero line with the money flow, came back further into the red, but still not looking horrible. This is kind of, the bullish hopium here. Now, if you come, where was it? Was it the 4? I think it might have been the 6 hour. Yeah, so something to note here on the 6 hour is we did print a blood diamond, right? Not 100% guarantee that this is going to bring us down a lot, but if we come back in time just a little bit to our last blood diamond, where was it? Yeah. So you can see up here, we had some blood diamonds. Let's just measure these out quick and see, how brutal these things were.
Oh gosh, Frank, I don't know if this is necessary.
But, I actually will touch on why I think, it possibly might. So this one was about 9%. And then, this one here about, 6 or 7%. However, if you come back down over here to the current price action, we are coming down to this major support, right? So sometimes when you see these blood diamonds pop up right at a support level, they come down a little bit and then the support just kind of saves you and they wind up not playing out. So kind of what I'm hoping for at this moment, this blood diamond is just trying to push us below this support level, but we'll just hold it hopefully, and then, you know, come back up to, you know, come test this level here at about 41,950 to get to the top of this triangle and hopefully break out. And then real quick, just to note, the downside target at 29K is also a golden pocket. So, you know, we could see, if we do break down there, we could see some pretty hefty bounces off of that golden pocket. So other than that, I mean, it's a crab market, guys. We're just going sideways. Just really nothing going on. But, you know, like I said, sometimes that's not a bad thing, right? We don't want, you know, Bitcoin to wake up angry from her nap and just decide to dump. So keeping an eye on it, right? You know, hoping we can break out of that symmetrical triangle. So
Wow.
I think that's all I got. Back to you, Ben.
Awesome. Let's go.
Bing bong. Oh, guys, wait. Jason Casper will be on the stream tonight, 5:45. Jason Casper.
Bing bong.
Yeah. And you guys can see that stream he was talking about at Frankie Candle's YouTube channel.
They say it's a slow news day when we talk about sports ball a lot. They just said Falcons emerging as a favorite to get Deshaun Watson. Is that a good thing? I don't know. I don't know if that's something you really want. But if he's going to the Saints or the Panthers, I'd rather be there. Okay. All right. Moving on here, boys and girls. One thing I did want to say, just like Frank or like TJ was saying, if you go to our BitBoy Crypto YouTube page, scroll down, awesome channels. Make sure to hit subscribe to all of our channels. We have Frankie Candles. He's trying to get to 8K. Please help a low, poor, lonely man like Frankie Candles get to 8,000 subscribers. He would really like that. We got the BitBoy Bit, small little clips. Hit Network, all our behind-the-scenes stuff. Meta Money, almost at 49K. They were sending me stuff to where they were. Did you see that clip?
Which one?
Where they were on TV last night?
No.
Yeah, they did make it, but it's just in the corner. It's in the corner. Yeah. Great job on them. NFT Alpha at 15,000 subscribers. I did also want to mention, I see some people talking about, I saw some people talking about Matty B. You guys make sure to go subscribe to Matty B's channel as well. If you just type in Crypto Matty B, he will come up. He's doing his own thing now. We love Matty B. I was just talking to him this weekend, so definitely big supporters of him, and his channel's been growing like crazy. He's still doing the same morning TA that he was. We just had to like move stuff around and do some different things, but definitely we support Matty B, and you guys make sure to go subscribe to his channel. You know, I've loved seeing his success since you know, his videos came off our channel. But all right, moving on here. Bitcoin breakout. Elusive as traders price in 7 Fed rate hikes for 2022. Now, here's something that is very interesting, which is you have seen, we talked about it yesterday, Bitcoin starting to diverge away from tech stocks, from NASDAQ, kind of starting to do its own thing. We're going to talk about some stories in a little bit about Ethereum and Bitcoin moving off exchanges. We're going to be talking about that here in just a few seconds. You know, you're seeing a lot of action, but you're also seeing so much indecision. You're seeing, on the technicals, you're seeing blood diamonds and green dots at the same time on relatively similar time frames. So the point here is, it's just hard to know where things are going. I tend to believe that somebody said I wouldn't want Watson. I would love Watson. There's some controversy there. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of controversy there. We're seeing a lot of indecision. I'm seeing the signs of positive. Like, I'm choosing right now, whether dumb or not, to be looking for the positives, because I really believe that Bitcoin is going to break up. It's not going to break down. Now, it can certainly break down, and I'm not in the camp where I'm saying it's definitely going up, because I don't believe it's definitely going up. I just think there's a greater chance we're breaking up than breaking down. We're seeing a lot of signs right now that I think are alluding to that. So the Fed is likely to raise by 25 basis points or 25 bips. It's 0.25%. First rate hike since 2018. We're going to try to put together a video for you guys. We're going to put out on Thursday that's going to show what Fed hike rates do for the price of markets over long term. By the way, guys, we got 4,500 people watching right now. This is the most people we've had ever. 788. We don't even have 1,000 likes. No. Guys, if you could stop what you're doing, we got to say this in the beginning. Stop what you're doing. Hit that like button. It's the number one thing that tells YouTube that you want to see our content and that you like our content and that other people should see it too. So you guys, please make sure, especially if you're in the XRP army, you guys know we work real hard to cover XRP for you guys. We got something huge for you guys, for XRP people. XRP NFTs. coming soon. Let you know more about that. It's going to be big. You guys are going to be real excited about it if you are in the XRP army. So, okay. So moving here, Bitcoin dropped and U.S. stock futures nursed losses as interest rate derivatives traders expected the Fed can raise rates 7 times this year, and the tightening cycle would peak at a level higher than previously anticipated. I don't see that happening if we continue to get conflict in Europe. Let's see here. It traded 3% lower, but it's up higher now. Futures tied to the tech-heavy NASDAQ 100 index traded 0.5% lower. As of Monday, overnight index swap saw Fed funds rates or the benchmark interest rate at 1.85%. In other words, with the current effective Fed funds rate at 0.08%, traders expected 175 basis points worth of tightening for 2022. That's equivalent to 7 quarter percentage points rate hikes. I always want to say rate hikes. I get so confused trying to say it right every time. Markets had priced in 2 of the 7, leaving 5 on the table following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We know they had already taken 1 off. I thought that had moved to 6, so or maybe it was 8. Now it's 7. I'm not sure, but they said they did kind of take 1 off the table. The renewed hawkish repricing aligns with investment banking giant Goldman Sachs forecast. It suggests bleak near-term prospects for risk assets, including Bitcoin. So this could be something to be really bullish on. When Goldman Sachs is bearish on Bitcoin, that's a good sign. It has a great chance to go up. Let's see. Fed is widely expected to kick off a tightening cycle on Wednesday. So this will be happening right after the show tomorrow. Then we have this. Bitcoin sees mother of all consolidations. Hello, I'm a consolidation. I want my mother. Bitcoin price action stubbornly sticking to a zone that has seen more on-chain volume than any other in Bitcoin's history. Bitcoin saw a fresh, brief, short squeeze overnight on March 15th, with bulls still attempting to crack 40K resistance. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro. Trading views show Bitcoin USD reaching highs just short of a psychological barrier. The now all too familiar BART formation. Are y'all new to crypto? Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. Follow news that the EU had rejected a regulatory mechanism, so that's good. MoveWall had nonetheless produced little relief. Altcoins, again, are showing a lot of weakness in the Bitcoin pairs. They are dropping. A lot of people are saying they're not really looking at altcoins right now. I mean, I would say, I think there are altcoins you can be looking at. Look, overall, your altcoin strategy right now should be one of accumulation. Someone asked me yesterday, they said, do you think, I tell you, I got a guy who I coach baseball with. I love this guy. Great friend. And he's so new to crypto. Like, he just got into crypto basically, right around the time that we met each other, which was, I guess, back in the fall. And, the interesting thing is I get so many questions from him that I look at and I'm like, wow, this is a lens for how newer people to crypto are thinking. And it really has been, fascinating to me. And he was talking to me yesterday. He said, I know things could drop further, but don't you feel like dollar cost averaging is a good idea right now? Absolutely. This is a time to dollar cost average, a time of uncertainty. Now, by definition, dollar cost averaging, you should really never stop. You should always do like every month forever, and it negates, the prospects of the volatility affecting your portfolio in drastic ways. But there's also times like when it doesn't make sense, when things are dropping tremendously, when things go down 50 or 60%, you're kind of throwing money away when you're dollar cost averaging at that point. But you don't really know that that's happening as it's happening all the time. But I would tell you this, if you are considering dollar cost averaging, this is the perfect time to start. The perfect time to start. Why? Because nobody knows if it's going up or down right now. No one knows. You want to be protected, but you also don't want to go all in at one time. If you go all in at one time and then it drops 50% from here, which is definitely on the table and is a possibility, then you're kind of sunk. Whereas if you just start throwing in like a few $1,000s a month, a couple $100 a week, $25 a week, whatever you can afford, now you are getting exposure at prices where we could be near bottoms. But if it goes down tremendously, you're not all in and you still can continue doing that strategy. So in my opinion, I definitely believe that dollar cost averaging right now is a really, really, really good opportunity. So
yeah, it's safe too. If you feel like you don't have a lot of time to keep up with the market every day, it's another way where you can feel like you have exposure and it's safe. For example, I totally even forgot. I had set up, I do buy $25 a week on Swan or something like that. Had it running, I think, the whole last few years. And I just saw it the other day. I think it had purchased maybe a couple $1,000s worth of like actual money in, and it had made like $4,500. So I doubled my money by putting $25 in a week throughout the whole cycle, basically, more or less.
That's like pretty good.
Yeah, and it's, you know, even all the way down to where it is now. So safe, easy.
Maybe I should do that.
Maybe.
39K is an on-chain volume king, according to the CEO of Moskovsky Capital, Lex Moskovsky. He noted the historical significance of current spot price levels. More Bitcoin last moved around 39,000 than any other point. He calls 39,000 the mother of all consolidations. On-chain volume at 39K is the largest in the entire history of Bitcoin. Think about that. Record 775,000 Bitcoin changed hands at around 38,700. That is extremely significant.
That's a lot.
That's insane. You look back here and you see, I tell you what's so fascinating. You look back here at the last time we had a spike like that, and that was the bottom. That was the bottom of the market. $32 to $3,800. $3,200 was December of 2018. $3,800 was March of 2020, right as the pandemic was hitting. So, you know, is there something we can read from this? Is this near a bottom? Definitely could be.
So when was that? That was the May crash or right now?
Okay, so this is overall the history of Bitcoin, the most Bitcoin that exchange hands at different price levels. I just know that 3,200 was the bottom for Bitcoin in December of 2018. Right. So this means that this was a price point where, you know, we saw a lot of stuff move at the bottom because it obviously bounced from there. And then this one is around $3,800, between 38 and 4,000, it looks like. And we do know that in the March pandemic crash, Bitcoin dropped from about $7,000 all the way down to 3,800. So that's where the majority of those transactions were coming in. Certainly people bought those at different times.
What's this one? 28? This one to the
No, I mean, it's very close. It's 37. So it just shows you that, I mean, there's a lot of accumulation at these high 30s, high 30s numbers. I mean, you look over here, this is 42,000. See this accumulation zone.
So that bodes well for people defending those positions.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For the first time in 7 weeks, this is what someone was alluding to in the chat here earlier. For the first time in 7 weeks, Bitcoin and Ethereum see heavy outflows worth $110 million. Now, if you are unaware, inflows to exchanges, bearish. It means people are getting ready to sell. When it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, if it's stable coins, inflows are bullish because that means people are moving in dollars to buy crypto. Outflows are bullish for Bitcoin and Ethereum because that means people are moving those off exchanges because they're not planning to sell anytime soon. So I wish I could X out of this. That's not happening. Okay. Regulatory hurdles and geopolitics remain at the forefront of investors' minds for digital assets. I saw a Reddit post yesterday that said, like, it was pretty funny. It said, aliens could literally invade Earth tomorrow, and everybody in the crypto subreddit is just going to be talking about how it affects crypto.
That's pretty good.
It's true. Bitcoin and major altcoins witnessed a sizable exit of money, according to the latest weekly CoinShares report. Fortunately, digital asset investment products suffered outflows of $110 million last week. Here, crypto investment products experienced outflows over the last week for the first time in 7 weeks. So this goes back to, what is this, 53? There's 53 weeks in the year. I guess that's, how did they get 53? Was it leap year last year? So we get an extra day?
I think it's crossing over. It says 2020/21 week number.
Yeah, so that's got to be, but it doesn't start it. It starts, this should be the first week of the year right here.
Right.
So I guess 53 because I don't know.
It'd be the first week in the 21 part of the year.
No, that would be week 1. The first.
That would be the beginning of the 2020 part of the year.
It must have, I tell you what it probably has to do with, most likely, we're really just dicing stuff that doesn't need to be diced. But most likely what this is it counts calendar weeks, like Monday through Fridays. and probably the week started, you know, in the middle. But didn't the week, wasn't it New Year's was on a Sunday this year? Yeah, that would actually make sense, probably. So it probably has something to do with the number of days and where they start the weeks. That even though there's 52 weeks in a year, it covers 53 calendar weeks, or what it is. So this here is the first week of the year. You can see if week 1 and 2, we had outflows. That's when we were still like possibly bullish for the beginning of the year. And then, of course, the outflows started, and you can see they tick up as things really started dropping. And now, for the first time, things have gone the opposite direction. And you can see this here. This is around the time that you know, in November, where we really started seeing the price dumping. So people were taking profits, and this really supports my theory that really the bear market started in May. The fall rise, the fall move back up to all-time highs was strictly institutions manipulating the price up to sell when people were excited about Bitcoin again. You know, because that entire time, even when the price was going up, the inflows were rising. So very interesting. And I still think May could be basically 1 year. Even though I know there was another all-time high in November, but you know, May to me is really when the bear market started, because the retail started to go away in May. Geographically, North America and Europe saw 80 million and 30 million in inflows, or outflows, excuse me. Regulatory concerns and geopolitics remain at all-time highs, or remain at the forefront of investors' minds and concerns, I mean. Bitcoin experienced the heaviest outflows of 70 million leaving BTC investment products. So pretty interesting, something to look at here. So, all right, moving on here. Here's a scenario. This is Peter Schiff's story. Here's a scenario when Bitcoin likely to go up. And man, let me tell you, he certainly gives a very exact scenario that's kind of crazy in my mind. But anyways, major Bitcoin hater and gold bug Peter Schiff's taken to Twitter to suggest an unrealistic scenario in which the Bitcoin price may start to go up. And you guys keep in mind, Peter Schiff, his Bitcoin is his brand.
Yeah, well, this is what kills me is he has to make this ridiculous scenario of like, here's one crazy thing that could happen that would make Bitcoin go up, yet he wants to completely ignore the fact that it's been going up in the current situation, in the current environment for the last 10 years straight, basically. Exactly. It's frustrating. But he does what he does very well. We'll say that.
He is very good at getting engagement.
Yeah, he's a good marketer.
Let's see. He warns, here's the tweet here. In case you haven't noticed, the meme stocks are crashing. He compares Bitcoin to a meme stock. GameStop is down another 15% today, trading below $79 per share. That's down over 83% from last year's high. AMC is down 5.5% today, over 80% off its 2021 high. Bitcoin hodlers, pay attention. You're the next bag holders. After a massive hourly red candle that took the flagship cryptocurrency down from 38.8 to 37.6, Bitcoin managed to recover. What a massive candle. It recovered 4.45%. Small appreciation at 39.9 followed a tiny price decline. Today, on March 15th, the leading global, blah, 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 blah. But this is a scenario. He says that the NASDAQ index must start appreciating, since these two have been showing a strong correlation, which is not true anymore. And gold needs to drop in price instead of appreciating. Aside from that, then the Federal Reserve has to ensure an inflation decrease to 2% without harming the economy. And that can be achieved only if rate hikes are minimal, along with government expenses being cut severely. Is this a meme? Yeah. Is this a meme? He's basically saying that if the government cuts its spending, Bitcoin will go up. Alec, please give me things that will never, ever, ever happen for $1,000.
Yeah, I feel like he's mostly just a troll.
He's trolling. This is a pure troll. It's what it is. Yeah. He's warning you, you are like Dogecoin holders if you are a Bitcoin holder.
It's a joke.
Pretty funny. Macro expert Lynn Alden says, cancel, not cankle. Cancel Proof Bitcoin could make its way onto central bank balance sheets. Here's how. Macroeconomic guru Lynn Alden is laying out how Bitcoin can ultimately make its way onto the balance sheets. She was recently on the What Bitcoin Did podcast. She said, with countries around the world freezing and seizing assets from Russians while sanctioning the country's assets, it's demonstrating a solid use case for Bitcoin. In theory, that increases the desirability of reserves that can't be canceled. The knee-jerk one is gold because this is the one the central banks already own. It's already big and liquid, something like $12 trillion estimated market cap, less volatile. The longer you look into the future, the more attractive Bitcoin arguably becomes as a reserve asset. That's what I've been telling you guys. I believe reserve asset is much further down the road. I don't think it's very short term. The macro analysts say that the macro analyst says before central banks buy Bitcoin, sovereign wealth funds will start accumulating Bitcoin first. The bigger Bitcoin gets, the more widely held it is, the more liquidity there is, the more central banks can start looking at it as a viable mutual reserve asset because it kind of fixes two things for them. One, they have an asset that can't be frozen. Two, they can go around sanctions and they can have permissionless payments. So pretty interesting stuff there. Talking about creating Bitcoin as something that, can get around sanctions. It can. Those are facts. And no matter how many times, it says every 28 years you have a 53rd week. Is that true?
I guess.
Is that a real stat, David Brumbelow? I would really be interested to hear that. Bitcoin well positioned to help governments create cheaper CBDs. This is from Deloitte, one of the big four accounting firms. Deloitte analysis shows Bitcoin can help traditional fiat currency. We all know this. Faster, cheaper, secure ecosystems for electronic fiat. They had an analysis titled State-Sponsored Cryptocurrency, pointed out the need for a complete redesign of the traditional fiat ecosystem. Wow, sounds almost like a great reset, doesn't it? To overcome impending issues of slow, error-prone, expensive relative to performance in other high-tech industries. However, the report pointed out 5 key areas where Bitcoin can help traditional fiat currency improve drastically. Speed, security, efficiency, cross-border transactions. And here they made a nice little infographic. This is pretty cool. Let's see. While stating the difference between Bitcoin and state-issued CBDCs, they said one of the major inflationary traits of fiat currency, or one of the major traits of fiat currency is inflation. Saying CBDCs have no cap on money supply. I mean, look, CBDCs are basically just a reflection of fiat, is all they are. They're a new generation. It's digital fiat. That's all CBDCs
It's literally, it stands for central bank digital currency. So it's exactly the way the central banks work now, just digital.
But, I mean, let's face facts here. If you take aside all of the bad things of fiat currency and why we hate it, a CBDC would be a much more effective version of that.
Yes.
Much more effective version of, much more effective to spend, much easier to spend, much easier to disperse, much easier to track, obviously something they want, but much easier to track also for, banks when you're doing your taxes and stuff like that. So.
Exactly.
The Great Reset, now named the Great Fush. I don't know what that means. Great Flush, maybe? How 3 friends cracked Larva Labs' secret treasure hunt for a $25,000 Me Bit. I want to get one of these Me Bits. We don't have one. I want to get one. I don't know what it is, but I want to get it. Larva Labs, the creator of the popular non-fungible token, CryptoPunks, and Me Bits, enshrined the private keys for a pig Me Bit worth 10 ETH or 25K and some digital artwork last year. No one found the prize, at least not until 3 friends managed to crack the code on March 14th. Their 3 friends were a programmer named Andrew Bader, a person who goes by Appley.eth on Twitter.
Appley, probably.
Appley.eth, yeah, you're right. And an anonymous third person. As Bader described on Twitter, a private collective of 1,000 artists called Proof created an NFT drop composed of 20 artworks from 20 anonymous artists, where the artists' names would be released after the mint closed. One piece, Grail number 11 as it was known, turned out to be from Larva Labs. The piece, in fact, was a prototype for Autoglyphs, a collection of mathematically generated art. Grail number 11 soon became the most valuable piece in the Proof NFT drop. March 5th, someone by the name of Iceman on the Proof Discord pointed out the unusual pattern aligned at the top of Grail number 11. Said, I wonder if these L's mean anything or if it was generated by coincidence. Well, I would say they're probably I have no idea, actually. I didn't crack the code. Let's see what they say. His message caught my eye right away because the part of the image really did look separate from the main part of the artwork. It literally is separate, if you look. Also, the L's weren't in any kind of regular pattern, so they seem more ornamental. Bader then wrote code to turn the L's into zeros and ones, which could be interpreted using the ASC from the ASC II, or a system in which numbers correspond to 128 characters. The seemingly random collection of L shapes read the hidden message, secret is in the pig numbers LL. Interesting. Andrew figured it must be referring to the MeBit's pigs, and after poking around, he found another friend honed in on the pigs wearing jerseys, each of which has one digit on it. Apely.eth wrote that. So team tried various methods to interpret the numbers, such as, mod 2, intervals between IDs, Caesar ciphers, Ides of March, yada, yada, yada. All kinds of crazy things. Anyway, sure enough, they found it, a wallet containing 0.025 ETH and the MeBit 2858. The year-old puzzle was finally solved. I want to make something like this.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want to do like a treasure hunt.
Like a scavenger hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, this would be so cool.
I do too. It was funny, while you were reading that, I was thinking about, we've had similar-ish discussions with some people about doing something along these lines. And it just takes a lot of time, bandwidth, thinking, So maybe now that we're in an official bear market, we got plenty of time to work on this kind of stuff.
This is pronounced ASCII, they say. Like ASCII. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, moving on here. Ethereum Merge is now closer than ever with Kiln testnet now public. The days of a proof of stake Ethereum mainnet are getting closer as the network moves closer to the Kiln testnet. Ethereum Foundation announced on March 14th the network shareholders should use Kiln to run tests. This confirms that the Kiln testnet is now live. Kiln is the final phase of the Ethereum Merge testnets. It comes after the Kintsugi testnet launch last December. As Tim Biko, he's a big Ethereum developer. It marks Ethereum readiness or proof of stake to now. Now, let's see what timeline they're looking at. Happened as soon as March 17th. I'm just kind of thinking about how, the merge and, ETH 2.0, I wonder how this factors into the timing of the market. Are we going to see big news coming out for this over the summer? Summer might be when we could start to see things turn around if, in fact, we do see. I kind of feel like a little matrixy right now. I feel like everything is like coming kind of into a little more into focus about what's happening right now. I really think if you think about it, we got about half as high as we thought we would in the bull market. So we should theoretically end a bottom of a bear market about twice as high as we would have expected, which would have been around 14,000. 28,000 is twice that. Maybe that really was the bottom. And maybe a year after May, or a year after that bottom in July, maybe that's when we do see things start to turn around. But that doesn't mean they turn around quickly and by the end of the year we're back at all-time highs. But it does feel like there's a lot of timing stuff that would maybe indicate this is the roadmap that we're seeing for this market turning around, which isn't extremely sexy if you think you got to wait till July. And then, guys, you got to keep in mind when this thing ticks up, it starts ticking up slowly. But we usually traditionally have seen it tick up slowly, but also the numbers are so big now that slowly may not necessarily feel slow. Mm-hmm. Like moving from 38K to 50K feels very significant,
For sure.
Let's see. What's next? Ethereum's transition from proof of work, proof of stake has been going on for years now. The merge completion will significantly impact the entire system. And here it is. There's no specific date for the merge yet, except many analysts believe it'll be in the second quarter of the year between June and July. Boom. Fits that timing perfect. Which, by the way, even if it goes later like it always does, if it's in August, that still fits that timing perfect. Ethereum difficulty bomb, which will make mining impossible on the network, is set to go off around that time. Thus, developers will have to go ahead with the merge or implement another hard fork to shift the difficulty bomb forward. Ethereum's currently trading at 2,500 after a 2.5% drop in 24 hours, yada, yada, yada. Will Ethereum flip Bitcoin in 2022? I definitely do not believe that. Crypto analyst Nicholas Merton updates ETH forecast as markets merge. I thought there was a great chance during the bull run But now that we're not really in a bull run anymore, I don't think that's a possibility, but certainly maybe 2024, 2025, I think it will happen. Merton tells us 512,000 YouTube subscribers of the Flipning is still a possibility in this market cycle. Now, Nicholas Merton is still believes we are in the same market cycle. I tend not to believe that. But, you know, I do think that this is something, you know, that we could see. I know a lot of people think that's far out, but Ethereum from a previous upper band range only needs to make, I think, an 80 to 100% move in order to do that. I'm not saying it's going to remain there for a long period of time. That's not the name of the game here. We're investing in trading here. In this case, we're trying to see if we can get that price point up there and make those returns against Bitcoin. It's a pretty nice bet. He goes on to say the pair could surge from basically 6% to 16% of the value of Bitcoin, one Ethereum versus the value of one Bitcoin, which 16% would be an all-time high, by the way. We really do think we should see a wave here going forward. I think we could see something here in the spring, but I want to keep it conservative. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Ethereum can flip Bitcoin in 2022? I would love to hear your thoughts. Paris Hilton and Cardano founder fund efforts to resurrect mammoths. Are you big on this?
No.
Do you think this is a mammoth move?
I mean, if they're literally resurrecting mammoths,
Literally.
yeah, I think they could probably find a better use of their time.
I think I saw a movie kind of about this one time. Has anyone seen that movie where they resurrect like ancient creatures? And
yeah, is it called Ice Age?
Yes, it's called Ice Age.
Yeah.
I think we have the same amount of Ice Age movies as there's another brand. I think they're still making movies about this. I don't know. Okay, Paris Hilton and Charles Hoskinson have invested in Colossal. It's a startup that aims to resurrect the mammoth. Prehistoric animal is long dead. However, DNA still exists, which makes the idea of bringing the giant creature back to life tantalizingly possible. Wow.
Jurassic Park. Here we go.
Oh, Jurassic Park. I didn't even think of that. Created in 2021, George Church and Ben Lamb. Is that businessman Ben Lamb? That's not the poker player, I don't think. Colossal is a biotech startup that aims to bring back the mammoth, the last recorded species of mammoth, back to life. In addition to recreating the animal, the company has conservation projects. According to Colossal, woolly mammoths could be inhabiting our planet as early as 2027. Do we need woolly mammoths? Like, is this something we need in the world? Like, if we're in this, that's a funny little chat over there. If we're living in this, like, you know, world of PETA and, you know, we're moving away from, you know, killing animals for food. Eventually all our food's going to be coming from labs and all this stuff. Like, is resurrecting animals that don't exist anymore, like, is that a positive move or is that a negative move? Like, if we're purely bringing these animals back for our enjoyment, does that kind of align with, like, what people aren't supposed to do? I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of all of it. I'm not sure. I'm not opposed to it from a moral standpoint. I'm more opposed to it because I've seen the dang movie Jurassic Park and it does not end well.
Yeah.
It does not end well. It's still going on to this day. There's raptors
pretty much
on snow mountains.
Yeah. Any movie where man tries to play God with life, whether it be human life or animal life, you know, Planet of the Apes didn't end well either. You know, a lot of those movies don't go well.
Pet Cemetery also does not go well.
Yeah.
Okay. Cardano, we were talking about, you know, coming back from the dead. Cardano, TVL, and DeFi. We ain't seen nothing yet on TVL, he says. Many are admittingly experiencing a crisis of faith when it comes to Cardano's price performance and DeFi progression. I'm not concerned at all about the Cardano DeFi progression. I mean, we're in a bear market. It is what it is. It's not going to be, you know, super, you know, we're not seeing Cardano go to the moon tomorrow, you know, so just be patient here. We got plenty of time for the DeFi to catch up. Press time, Cardano is at 81 cents. While it's been causing concern for many in the Cardano community, we're hoping for quick gains. Others are convinced DeFi will take the project to new heights. I agree 100%. I've always said DeFi was the play for them. It started with a Twitter thread where a self-described ADA hodler shared a picture of Cardano's rising TVL. Hoskinson added his stake, and he said, what most also don't realize is that many Cardano dApps are waiting for the Vassal hard fork in June. Once again, more of that timing around the summer. The launch to benefit from pipelining, so it seems we ain't seen nothing yet on TVL. Press time Cardano's TVL was 188 million, which is basically nothing. Risen 6% in 24 hours. That's a pretty big move in 24 hours. Certainly impressive when taken in isolation. It was ranked 28, getting a very small part of the TVL share. Number of Cardano active addresses has been falling. That shouldn't shock anybody. Retail is leaving out of crypto. Vassal hard fork is slated for June. According to Hoskinson, according to a post from the Input Output Global, it will focus on an array of scaling enhancements. A lot of changes will be geared toward enhancing the development of DeFi, DEXs, and smart contracts. Pipelining is just one scaling method as part of the overall plan. So beatings will continue until morale improves. And here we go, guys. We've just got a lot of this out there right now, and I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm not a fan of us looking at individual crypto projects and trying to explain why their prices are down. This is idiotic. This is low IQ. If you're looking at one specific coin that you own and trying to figure out, I don't understand, the price is dropping, then you need to up your IQ in crypto. If Bitcoin is going down or consolidating or not showing strength, everything else is going to do the same thing. From time to time, you're going to get rare outliers like Thorchain that go up 90%, but it's going to go back down too. Like, we love Thorchain. It's a big hold. This is not the jump point for Thorchain to go up 1,000%. Right. Okay. That doesn't happen in bear markets. Only Chainlink is pretty much the only one to ever do that. Okay. So keep in mind, guys, crypto is not gaining isn't gaining traction because Bitcoin's not gaining traction. When Bitcoin gains traction, now when Ethereum eventually does flip Bitcoin, I think this whole paradigm gets shifted, and now we're looking at a much more unpredictable market. Once we have something past Bitcoin, even for a minute, things will change, I believe. But that's where we're at right now. So I like listening to people convincing themselves not to be depressed. Dogecoin will go up. Yeah, I'd be real depressed if that was my main holding too. Okay, motions for XRP denied. XRP Army, where are you at? If you're in the XRP Army, throw up the chat. We were talking about some big stuff. I can't wait to talk about some of this stuff with you guys. Once we release some of this stuff we're talking about right now, we got big stuff coming for XRP and the XRP NFT community. It says David Brumblebell. I want to read that. Go up a little bit on YouTube, up a little bit, right there. 53-week years are fiscal tax year weeks. These arrive every 5 to 6 years. The term for it is leap week. There's rules as to when it's leap week. ISO 8601 leap weeks are 2020, 2026, 2032, and 2037. Well, thank you for that, David. Appreciate that. Ripple CEO Garlinghouse claims a big win for the dismissal, but there was another motion that was big that Ripple lost. And it's something that you need to know about, but I don't think has a dramatic effect on the case. So if you're in the XRP Army, throw the X up. Make sure to smash the like button while you do it. Why am I talking about Bitcoin with an XRP t-shirt? Because I'm not restricted to talk about the t-shirts that I wear. Do I come on the channel and do a J. Crew live stream? No. Okay. Basically, here's what happened. I mean, there's really no reason for me to even read this. I'm just going to explain to you guys what happened with this. Okay, we do know the fair notice defense for Ripple. It was approved by the motion to strike it was denied by Annalisa Torres. So this basically resulted in Ripple now is going to win the case for sure. That they're now afforded the fair notice defense. They were not given notice that they were doing a token sale, so it's not a big deal. Or it is a big deal because they were never given notice. So we know that they're going to win at this point. The motion that got denied was Brad Garlinghouse tried to get his case because there's a case versus Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, two of the co-founders or the CEO and one of the co-founders of Ripple. They were trying to get their cases dismissed. Let's see what it was based on. They claimed that even if the allegations were true, it would still not present a winnable case. So even if we did make a bunch of money on the token sale, there's still no case to be made against us. And the judge denied that. So basically, or accepted or denied the motion for them to dismiss that side of the case. So in fact, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson are still up, personally held liable for what they did with the money they earned from the Ripple token sale. So we'll see what happens, but Brad Garlinghouse is not concerned, as you guys can see on this tweet here. If you weren't paying attention, you should now. This is a huge win for Ripple. Not concerned about his personal stuff, but look, if you've got something personal going on where you could be held liable, you're going to just try every last-ditch effort to try to get dismissed so you don't have to deal with it. So that's what they were trying to do. Ripple proposes South Korea distinguish between cryptos for regulatory clarity. Now, here's something you need to know about South Korea. They just had a big leadership change. And supposedly their new leader, who's apparently extremely conservative, very bullish on crypto. They're calling him a crypto bull. So we might see South Korea now pushing forward in a much more positive sense when it comes to their positions on crypto. But Ripple, blockchain-based digital payment network, has made a proposal to South Korea to make clear distinction in cryptocurrencies between payment tokens, utility tokens, and security tokens. Policy paper released on Tuesday. So I don't think there's a coincidence that they are doing this at a time when there is new leadership in South Korea. So we'll have to see what happens there, but could be bullish for XRP and Ripple there. Then, of course, we also have this story, which I think is, in fact, there's an entire story about this. Crypto community with 84% historical accuracy sets XRP price for March 31st, 2022. Guys, they think it's going to be $81 in two. No, 81 cents. Did you say no?
Yeah, I thought you were about to say they thought it was going to be $81 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that is what I said. I said it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is they think it's going to be 81 cents in 2 weeks.
Which is...
To dedicate an entire story to like, hey, guys, it could go up a nickel.
Yeah.
It could go up a nickel in a couple weeks. I think it's a little silly. Of course, sure. I'm sure if everything is dragging sideways, it's going to be around 81 cents. Be a bigger story if they said $81. You corrected me like I didn't know what I was saying.
No, I was just...
But I didn't know what
I wasn't talking about you. I thought they literally said that, and I was just like, no, this is... I was about to go off. Like, if they're really saying $81... yeah,
Pretty
anyway.
great. Well, let's move on here to quick hits. I thought this was pretty good. We need to get the Meta Money people on this.
Yeah.
Beta version of the desktop client for Windows has arrived for Decentraland. So check it out. And that's kind of almost a sandbox looking character here in Decentraland. Yeah. Maybe we should get in there and explore a little bit. I haven't been on there yet. Have you ever been on there?
No, not yet. And I am. We are going to do. We could do this on the Friday gaming stream sometime. But at some point, we are all six of us. Meta Money, Brian J. Chains, DZ, Justin, me, you all play Sandbox at the same time. And maybe another week we could do this one too. Also,
it goes like a posse out there.
Yeah,
and I like it.
We haven't talked about it yet, but we are the next nominees for Battle Shots.
I'm not doing it.
No?
Just so we're very clear on that, I'm not doing it. Absolutely
Ever.
Not. I will not ever do it.
Oh.
I will throw up immediately. I'll throw up before it even starts. So I'm definitely not doing it. That's where I draw the line. I don't dress up like a lady for the show, and I do not take disgusting shots of non-alcoholic disgusting drinks.
Yeah,
I will throw up. It'll be disgusting. It'll be everywhere. I can't go into it knowing I'm going to throw up. So.
Yeah, I will say people, and maybe I set the bar a little too high with the one I made, but people took it a lot more extreme. Like when I came down there and saw the ingredients he had on the table, I was like, whoa.
There are so many things individually that if I eat, I will gag and throw up. That a mixture of some of those things, like it doesn't make, just put an onion up there and make me smell it and I'll throw up. It doesn't have to be.
All right.
That had to be dramatic. I'm sorry. I just can't. I got to draw the line on that. I already told him I'm not going to do it. So.
Okay. Well, it is.
I would love to play ball. I'll play ball on a lot of stuff. I won't play ball with. I'm not just going to put anything into my mouth.
Well,
I'm just not going to do it.
Food wise, anyway.
Right. Just not going to.
All right. Let's do those quick hits. I know you're.
Crypto will redefine the financial world, says the PayPal CEO. Who is Dan Schulman? Is now the.
It already
CEO.
has redefined the world.
I know, right? Let's see here. Coinbase NFT marketplace launching soon, so pretty interesting. Hopefully they'll give us our check mark back, but they may have some competitors to deal with soon. FTX crypto exchange wins license in Dubai to open local headquarters. Binance temporarily halting Polygon deposits while they're syncing their nodes. I mean, not a big deal. Guys, I see a lot of people freak out when you can't withdraw something on an exchange. Most of the time, it's just something they're doing on the back end. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it doesn't. So, okay, gaming industry to have a blockchain-connected future. Wow, really? Shocker. LG versus South Korea cosmetics industry to digitize beauty brand with NFT. Pretty interesting. We're looking at more South Korea news. $3 million in Diane East stolen from Deuce Finance. They chucked the deuces to the money.
Yeah.
Then UK financial watchdog seeking crypto talent amid new crackdown. So if you got some talent and you want to screw over other crypto holders, make sure you go sign up.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We got some Q&A stuff.
Yeah, let's do some. We had some super chats. This is from Brandon, the super chat. How many different crypto gas fees are there? Just bought a Ledger X and trying to move my portfolio over to my hardware wallet, but waiting to get around 200 BNB and ETH for fees. Are there any other ones?
Let's see. There are going to be transaction fees and gas, like even IOST. Like IOST is a project that I was involved with for a long time. Their gas fees are almost non-existent. It's like a quarter of an IOST, which is just a couple cents for even large transactions, but it exists.
Yeah. Basically, every chain has its gas fees. So most likely, most of what you hold is on BNB and ETH, just because most of the tokens that exist are built on those two. But if you have something built on Cardano, if you have something built on AVAX or a lot of these other ones, you'll need something else for gas.
Yeah. Well, ETH is by far and away the most expensive. It's not even close. Nothing else compares to ETH and gas fees. So it's the one that you notice the most and you feel the most. BNB fee is considerably smaller than ETH. So if you've got a way to, move it in there, with BNB instead of ETH, then that's what I would do.
Another super chat. Have you heard of the Abra crypto platform? I like the APY and CRPX tokenomics. Just wanted a pro's opinion.
Yeah, I definitely think that Abra is, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It has been a crypto platform. I think there might have been like a little controversy with something they did. I can't remember what it was. We go here, Digital Currency Group.
There it is.
There it is, right there. So it's going to make it. They got big holdings in Abra. So.
Yeah, and they're running ads. They're not a fly by night type of place. So you can know they're.
I don't use it. We don't use Abra, but I'm not saying it's bad.
No. How's the weather in Atlanta? Should I move there?
It's been cold the last couple of weeks. It was freezing over the weekend. It was like dropped down to the 30s or something. But I think that's probably the end of the little thing, little cold spell. I expect by next week, good weather and probably for the rest of the year. Weather in Atlanta is great. Even our winters are not that bad. Usually in the low 30s is about as low as it goes. Sometimes it might drop to the 20s for a day or two. But I love Atlanta weather. It's great. I like the humidity here compared to the dry heat out west. Some people prefer the dry heat. Mm-hmm. I prefer the humidity all day long.
Yeah, I'd prefer lack of humidity. Somewhere in the middle.
The dry heat is like, I just feel like I'm in an oven all the time and I can barely breathe.
All right, another super chat. Besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, what are some of your top 10 favorite picks? You don't have to list all of them. Just
FTX, FTT token right now for sure. Cardano, obviously. XRP, obviously. Polygon, obviously. Definitely Sandbox. Mm-hmm. Then after that, I think it gets a little bit more. Outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, those are the top ones that we're big fans of. A lot of layer ones, can fit in within there too. But I would say those are our major ones.
Will Yum Yum, is it too late to get on the BitBoy crypto staking pool for ADA? No, it is not.
That's you just got to go to bitboycrypto.com, right? Is it still at the top?
Should be B-pool.
I think if you go to deals, maybe.
No, there.
Yeah, if you go to bitboycrypto.com/deals, you get access to the B pool right here at the top of that page.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Last question.
CRO too. I love CRO. That's one we're accumulating too.
Yeah. So. Basically, we're accumulating exchange tokens right now, because we've seen those do well in down markets, and then layer ones. Yeah. So he mentioned, a couple of, Avalanche, Luna, some of those other ones you hear about, Solana. They're not our top, but they're strong projects. Yeah. Last question. Did you hear MicroPets is releasing exclusive NFTs and literally sending them? That's basically. Did you hear about this? MicroPets releasing exclusive NFTs. Did you hear about it?
I did because I saw the chat earlier.
Yeah, it was just a $100 super chat. I wanted to.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah.
don't know anything about micropets, maybe better question for NFT Alpha. They know a lot more of what's going on in the NFT world.
Yeah.
We will be doing some more NFT content here soon, but, just something I haven't heard of.
And that's all we got.
All right, guys. So, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to smash that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Be back on Around the Blockchain later today. So, be blessed. BitBoy out.